Gunshots echoed inside the Washington Hilton, replacing a night of political prestige with sudden violent chaos that shattered the evening's calm. Security forces swarmed the ballroom with weapons drawn, forcing the President of the United States to flee. The White House Correspondents Dinner is usually a night for jokes, where political rivals and the press corps gather alongside the nation's most powerful leaders. Security teams scrambled at the 2026 event after an unidentified threat appeared, forcing an immediate high-stakes response from local police. Security failed at one of America's most protected political events. This breach hit the White House Correspondents' Dinner directly, causing an immediate crisis. If a gunman breaches the Washington Hilton perimeter, the danger to the high-profile target staying there would be immediate and catastrophic, creating a high-stakes security crisis. When the news broke, people saw a political gathering turn into a combat zone almost instantly. The sudden escalation transformed the formal event into a scene of chaos and intense physical conflict. On Saturday night, April 25, 26, things went wrong during the annual White House Correspondents Association dinner as the evening's scheduled festivities descended into unexpected chaos. The Washington Hilton hosted many high-profile political events, but on this specific night, the hotel staff had to execute a sudden emergency evacuation of the entire building. Witnesses reported hearing several loud bangs inside the ballroom area when the shooting started. Right after the noise, Secret Service agents and police rushed into the banquet hall. Hundreds of guests scrambled for cover during the sudden panic that erupted at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. People in the ballroom's raised rear seating area ducked under tables and hit the floor, according to witnesses describing the sudden chaos. People filmed the chaos on their phones while security officers ran up the center aisle during the crisis. This footage captured the unfolding scene as responders rushed toward the disturbance. People shouted, "Out of the way, sir!" while others screamed for everyone to duck. Chaos erupted as bystanders scrambled for cover during the sudden security incident. Security personnel moved Donald and Melania Trump out of the ballroom quickly following the incident. Security teams moved other US leaders to safety alongside the president during the evacuation. This urgent response occurred immediately following the reported security incident. Security personnel rushed to shield the president, while White House Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino jumped over a chair during the chaos. Police first reported an unspecified threat, but officers later confirmed a shooter had opened fire at the scene during the incident. The Metropolitan Police Department released specific details about what the perpetrator actually did. Officer Jeff Carroll said the suspect ran straight into a USS Secret Service checkpoint. During the incident, the suspect carried a shotgun, a handgun, and several knives. These weapons were recovered following the sudden evacuation of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Security guards tackled the suspect to the ground and handcuffed him immediately after he charged toward the crowd, preventing any further potential harm to bystanders. The FBI's Washington office confirmed they arrested the subject after the struggle occurred. Police said the shooter acted alone and wasn't part of an organized group. Investigators confirmed there was no evidence of a larger conspiracy or coordinated attack. The event was terrifying, yet no one reported injuries to the president or guests. Despite the sudden evacuation, all attendees remained physically unharmed during the incident. Reports show the president escaped the entire ordeal without any physical injuries. The event happened right outside the ballroom where the main guests sat. Chaos broke out when Secret Service agents drew weapons, forcing reporters and guests to flee the room. This sudden panic occurred after loud bangs were heard live during the event. Once the immediate danger passed, organizers tried to stabilize the event and asked guests to return to their seats. Organizers planned to resume the event, and Trump would return to the stage after security cleared the area. Security moved fast, but the delay was noticeable. Reports show it took over 20 seconds before the president was pulled off stage. Global leaders reacted to what they called an attempted assassination following the attack. These officials issued widespread condemnations regarding the sudden, unacceptable violence. Benjamin Netanyahu called the attack shocking, using blunt language to condemn the violence. His reaction reflected the gravity of the incident. Still, despite the growing international outcry, U.S. authorities haven't officially called the incident an assassination attempt yet. Investigations into the motive remain ongoing. The security breach at the Washington Hilton rattled top American officials, creating widespread concern throughout the administration. This sudden incident led to the immediate evacuation of high-profile figures present at the event. The incident, which involved reports of gunfire, led to the evacuation of President Trump and other top officials. While Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu called it an attempted assassination, U.S. authorities have not characterized it as such. One person used a shotgun and knives to breach a Secret Service checkpoint, proving that our most secure event perimeters are currently vulnerable. The incident, involving a suspect who charged a Secret Service checkpoint with a shotgun, handgun, and knives, has drawn international attention. Netanyahu, seeing this violence, shows the world that American democracy faces real physical danger. This alarming disruption highlights the growing tangible threats targeting democratic institutions and leaders today. The incident involved the suspect charging a Secret Service checkpoint with a shotgun, a handgun, and knives, causing hundreds of guests to duck under tables. An armed suspect charged a Secret Service checkpoint with a shotgun, a handgun, and knives, interrupting the White House Correspondents Dinner. Following reports of gunfire, President Trump and other leaders were evacuated. While a suspect is currently in custody, authorities have not yet released further details regarding the incident. The individual allegedly charged with felony firearm offenses appeared to be a lone gunman. We are watching the FBI and local police investigations closely as new details emerge regarding this ongoing situation. Subscribe and hit the bell to follow our ongoing coverage of this developing crisis as more critical details emerge. How do you feel about the security failure at the Washington Hilton? Share your thoughts in the comments.